Normal people get ready to go out places. I get ready to stay home and make YouTube videos. Hi everybody! Hello my explorers! I'm Daylan. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. So I don't really know how to describe this video. Obviously you've seen other YouTubers post probably a similar title. This isn't clickbait though, as much as YouTubers like to say. Not clickbait. Mine is really not clickbait. This is the story of how I almost died. So if you want to hear that story, just keep on watching. It will be a year pretty soon that this is coming up on, so that's why I wanted to tell this story. A little backstory of my health. I'm a pretty healthy person, even though I don't eat healthy, I don't exercise, I'm potentially the laziest person on the face of this planet. I've never really had a lot of health issues prior to this. I had kidney stones when I was in 7th grade, which was a phenomenon in itself. So basically, the only real issue I've ever had was I get bronchitis a lot. I get it as much as the average person, I guess you could say, when it starts becoming this time of year. I do have an acid reflux problem. This will all make sense as the story progresses, but I have to give you a little more of a backstory. I don't have friends besides my acid reflux, besides getting sick just like everybody else when it becomes cold and obnoxiously disgusting outside in PA, and my kidney stone problem when I was 14 back in 7th grade. Fast forward, I currently just turned 23. I was 22 when this happened because it was last year. So all was well in the world for the most part. I was staying with my current boyfriend more than I normally did with anybody else. Things were getting very serious. Obviously, I now live with him full time. So I was with him, I was staying over his house. He had gotten sick. I had gone to work this day, and I actually ended up coming home that day from work because I was so deathly sick. Like, I had the full 9 of the flu. I had body aches, I felt like I was dying, I just wanted to cry myself to sleep, and I just wanted to sleep for days on end. And Josh was the same way. He was also very sick, so we were both sick. And the next day, this had to be December 29th. I'm not getting any better no matter how much stuff I take. I just don't feel better, and neither is he. So I went home. Thank God that my mom only lives about 15 minutes from where I live right now. I drove myself to urgent care first of all, because I couldn't, I think it was a weekend if I'm not mistaken, and I couldn't get into my regular doctor. And grant you, I have never had an issue with any sort of medications. Never Tylenol, never penicillin, never anything like that when I get sick. So I went to urgent care. They told me I was getting bronchitis. They gave me stuff to take. So I'm pretty sure it was amoxicillin. I'm pretty sure it was amoxicillin. It's whatever they give you for bronchitis and all that bullshit. Told me I was getting strep throat. Just nip it in the bud with this. And I was like, okay, I'm used to this. I'll be better within the next day or two. I was like, cool. So I go home. I tell my mom I have this. She's also giving me liquid Tylenol. I'm laying on the couch. I feel like absolute garbage. So I go to bed. Fast forward a couple hours into the night. It has to be around 1:30 in the morning, and I wake up with excruciating pain. And it's bad. It's to the point where, and I have a very good pain tolerance. It's to the point where it is literally making me bawl my eyes out. Now, the pain I was having was right into here. It was like my sternum type deal. So I thought it was my acid reflux dealing, like, because I had too much acidity, because I barely ate, because I couldn't, and I was taking so much medication, so the acidity was rising in my stomach, causing me to have this pain. So I took, heartburn medication, I took Tums. This pain was not subsiding. I thought maybe I had to eat. I tried forcing myself to eat. I couldn't keep anything down because it was so painful to eat. So I fought with myself. No, I'm not even kidding. I fought with myself for 3 hours figuring out if I needed to go to the hospital or not. I tried waiting to see if it was my acid reflux. It wasn't, clearly. So I told my mom, I was like, I need to go to the hospital. Like, this pain isn't subsiding. I'm pretty sure there's something wrong. And my parents were getting annoyed with me, and they thought it was just either my kidney stones again acting up, or it was just my acid reflux. It was just a more like severe case of it, and it would subside in the morning. And my dad was just like, I'm not going to the hospital with you. And I was just like, I'll drive myself if that's a fucking problem. My mom was like, no, I'll drive you. So we go. It's about a 30-minute drive. No matter how I sit, no matter how I lay down, it is the most uncomfortable, like, pain I have ever felt. I cannot get this pain to subside whatsoever. It's about 5:30 in the morning when we get into, like, the emergency section of the hospital. So I walk in, they ask me what's wrong. It's like, I have this ridiculous pain, I don't know what it is, like, I have acid reflux, blah, blah, blah. Thank God I did not need to wait long. Within 10 minutes they called me back and I was in a room in the emergency ward. I'm a very small human being. I don't weigh a lot. I don't weigh over 100 pounds, honestly. And yes, I do eat, so we can forego those comments. I love food. I was only ever on morphine one other time, and that was with my kidney stones, and they never even gave me more than like that much of morphine because I didn't need it because it just subsided because I'm small. They gave me that much, waited about 10 minutes because they put it in an IV, pain did not subside. I told them, they gave me a little bit more, the pain did not subside. They had to give me at least 3 to 4 injections of Dilaudid or morphine or whichever one it was before this pain actually subsided and I could fall asleep. Now, they came in, they took vials upon vials of blood, and they told me that my liver enzymes were skyrocketing. Do you drink? Are you on drugs? Blah, 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 blah. It's like, no. I was like, the last time I drank was probably back in October. It's like, we need to admit you into the hospital. Your liver enzymes are not going down. And I was just like, okay, well, what does that mean? They're just like, oh, we're just going to keep you overnight. We're just going to monitor everything, just give you a lot of fluids, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, okay. They want to do all these tests. They want to, you know, make sure that everything's fine. Like, I'm on a whole bunch of fluids, the whole 9 yards. And I was like, all right, whatever. So I'm in the hospital. They finally admit me to a room up on, like, the 4th floor or something stupid like that. And it's a huge room. It's very nice. And I was just like, all right, whatever. I still feel horrible. I still feel shitty. I can still feel this pain. I'm throwing up now with it. Like, it's a ridiculous amount of, like, I can't keep anything down. I can't keep liquids down. Like, it's bad. Like, I tried. I was on a clear diet for the most of the time that I was in the hospital. When I tell you they took so much blood from me, being in the hospital for only about maybe a 5-day span, you could have made another one of me. Like, so much blood. So much. They couldn't tell me what was wrong. They had a liver specialist come in and tell me that my enzymes, your liver enzymes are supposed to be like 25. Mine were like 2,500. The liver specialist comes in and I'm by myself and he was like, how are you feeling? And I was like, I feel like shit. Like, great. And he was like, alright, well, I got some news for you. I was like, can I go home? I was just like, I hate hospitals. Please let me go home. And he was just like, can't do that. Your liver enzymes are still very, very high. And I was just like, okay. I was just like, what does that mean? He was just like, we need to relocate you. And I was just like, to a different room in the hospital? He was like, no. You're relocating to a whole new hospital. What do you mean? Enzymes are so high up that you need a legit specialist and you need to be in a hospital where they really know what they're doing. What? He told me that I was being transferred to Temple University down in Philadelphia. I had to be shipped there via ambulance because I was then on a liver transplant list. You know when your liver starts to fail and people say that you turn yellow? I was legitimately turning yellow. Like, you could see it in my eyes. My skin was starting to turn yellow. My parents are freaking out because they're just like, oh my god, you're gonna die. I'm so young with this issue that everybody was so confused. They shipped me off to Temple. That was my first time in an ambulance. The EMTs were very, very nice. They were so nice. They actually had given me, can't be in tight spots and be strapped down because I will freak out. So they ended up giving me anxiety medication so I could just calm down while I was in the ambulance. And they brought me there. It was around 11 o'clock, probably January 1st? No, it was December 31st. I'm pretty sure of it because Josh's birthday is December 31st. And everybody was saying Happy New Year. Yeah. So I'm there. They're taking more vials of blood every like 3 to 4 hours. Again, could make another human being out of me. And they cannot tell me what's wrong with me. They kept telling me, they kept asking me, am I prominent in drug use? You know, what did I have prior to this? Like, and I had to keep telling them the same thing over and over and over again. I had 2 IVs in me at this time then. One right in my, like, here, and then one in my hand. And they just kept pumping me with liquids, pumping me with vitamins because my vitamin deficiency was going so low. And I was still stuck on a clear diet. I could not keep anything down. I was dazed in and out for most of the time there too. Finally, to make a long story short, I finally got out of the hospital within, I think it was like January 2nd or 3rd or something like that. I don't remember. It might have been the 4th. And they finally tell me that I can go home. And I look at them and I was like, well, what's wrong with me? They're just like, we don't know. What do you mean you don't know? You just took so much fucking blood from me. What do you mean? They're just like, well, we don't know. But you can go home. I was just like, great, I can go home. So I go home. They want me to follow up with a liver specialist. I never do. To this day, I still don't know what's wrong with me. I've never had a bout, knock on wood, a bout of this liver issue ever again. They do think it was because I had too much Tylenol and I mixed it with amoxicillin and my liver just couldn't handle it. But I've taken Tylenol multiple other times, but ever since then I've stayed away from it. I don't trust it. I'm scared to. I don't want to go back into the hospital again. That is a story about how I was on a liver transplant list and I almost had to have my liver transplanted at the age of 22. I'm a rare case. Weird shit happens to me all the time that I can't explain. But I don't know if you guys enjoyed this story time. If you did, give it a thumbs up please. I'd really appreciate it. I think I told you guys in the last video I'm working on like a little rap song. If you guys would like me to make a video on that and for me to rap my rap, let me know. I would love to. I think I finally found a beat for it, and I'm just putting the last finishing touches on it, and we'll go from there. Other than that, guys, follow me on all my social media. Everything will be in the description down below. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this story. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Stay exploring, guys.